Okay, we're going to try this thing again. I don't know if anyone was able to hear the first time, but I have been trying to get on. I don't know exactly what's going on. Looks like I'm having a little connectivity issues. Everything is just totally freezing up. I don't know if it's the internet. I'm not really sure what it is. But I'm hoping that if you're on, you can hear. I know it's a lot of confusion on what time I'm starting. Initially supposed to start at 6 o'clock and couldn't get on, and then 6:30, but I wanted to just start this party now. If you're able to see it or if you're able to view it, just let me know. Send me a note and say, okay, I can see you, you're on, or anything like that. Anyway, first of all, I want to thank everyone for having the patience. I haven't been on for a minute. You're live. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate it. Gonna have to put this on so people will know I'm live. You know what? That picture looks very much like me, in fact. Oh, no wonder it's my sister. Anyway, so thank you so much for letting me know that, Romaine, that you can hear me and I'm live. I'm going to have to wait for everyone else to catch up, because there was some confusion as far as the start time. So, people just have to see my happy face and know that she's on, and I want them to have the opportunity to get in. I was supposed to be doing some creative stuff today, but now I'm kind of a little bit afraid to try anything because of my connectivity issues. I'm thinking there was some songs that I wanted to play, some music that I wanted to share with you. Matter of fact, what the heck? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I believe in supporting Chicago artists, and I wanted to kick the show off like I like to kick it off, playing a Chicago artist. This song is from the CD from Garrett Body. The title of the CD is I'm in Love with You, and the title of the song, it's going to be Help Me Find a Way. And Help Me Find a Way is by an artist. I think the vocals is laid by an artist named Tracy Carter. Beautiful, 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 beautiful song. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to enjoy it and hear it and love it like I do. And Romaine, since I know you're on, let me know that the audio is good and you can hear it.
Yeah. Emily found a way. This world is not my home, no. 'Cause my home has streets that are paved with gold. So why do I ever try to fit in? Keep circling back time and time again. Help me to find my way. I've been lost along the way. Help me to find a way to stay. Don't wanna run, don't wanna walk away. Help me to find my way. Help me to find my way. Help me to find a way to stay. I need more power. Surround me with your love, God. Yeah. It hurts so bad I can't get around it. I feel this weight on top of me. Where do I go from here?
I just love his vocals on that. His vocals are just so smooth and, help me to find a way. And it seems like a lot of us are kind of lost. So I think that's appropriate, that helped me to find a way, because we all need to definitely find a way. Tonight, I'm going to need your help. And you can see I've already been calling for people to give me feedback. Let me know if you can hear. Let me know if this. Let me know if that, because the show didn't start on time because I was having technical issues. It completely froze on me. And if it's going to be freezing, I kind of need to know. I can't believe it just did it, but things happen. For tonight, I'm going to try to read your comments, and I'm going to also try to post most of them and respond to your comments. As most of you know, typically the format is we talk about news stories, and we'll do that again this evening. We're going to also have ideas to improve your mood. In light of COVID, this pandemic has taken its toll, not only the pandemic, but also, there's a lot of people that are kind of down and depressed. So this is going to also help that. This is going to also help that. I got some real good suggestions from a friend of mine who is in ministry in Texas, and his church used it because of all the increases in emotional issues. So kind of wanted to run it past you. I thought it was good information, and I wanted to run it past you. So all of you know that typically when I start my show off, I start off with a scripture. Today is no different. I'm going to start off with a scripture, but before starting off with the scripture, I got to give a shout out to all of my sponsors, GV Entertainment, Oda Enterprises, as well as Great Tax Services. The scripture for today is going to come from Chronicles 2, verses 7 through 14. And it says, "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land." While I take a quick break this time, I'm going to hear from the St. Agatha Gospel Choir, and one of the premier artists on that CD was a young gentleman named Qdell, and I appreciate you tuning in today, Qdell. We're going to play a song that you helped lay the tracks on, and it's the title track from the CD, and it's called "It's Over, It's All Right." I'll play just a bit of it and be right back.
Hallelujah. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. It's over. It's all right. It's all right. Oh, yes, it is. Somebody wave your hand and say, "It's over. It's all right. It's all right. Oh, yeah. No matter what you're going through, God will see you through. It's all right. Have faith. It's all right. It's all right. I know you may be sick in your body, but have faith.
Yeah, and that song is kind of saying it all, as we travel this unfamiliar road and through the times of the pandemic and COVID, how it's touching all of our friends and just touching everyone. Every phone call I get, I'm getting just a wee bit paranoid because it's somebody else. And all we can do, y'all, is stay on our knees. And that's what we've been doing, and that's what we have to continue doing. This segment now is going to be the news you can use. And I know it's really hard for me to speak slow because I speak fast, but I'm going to try to speak slower so I can get your comments on the news stories. As I read a news story, I'll kind of glance, and if I see a comment, I will certainly put it up and we can comment on it. David Dinkins, who broke barriers as New York City's first African-American mayor, passed away at 93 years old. He served for a single term due to a soaring murder rate, stubborn unemployment, and his mishandling of a race riot in Brooklyn. He will truly be missed. He was the very first African-American mayor of New York City. Racial tensions have boiled over in a Wisconsin community after a fourth grade teacher included a lesson on Black Lives Matter in a Burlington elementary school classroom. In the town of Burlington, where less than 2% of the population is Black, and roughly 40 of the 3,000 students in the school district are Black, the message was not accepted by the broader community. The teacher, Melissa Statz, who is white, wanted to discuss racism and justice with her students, but did not expect to have the conversation so early on in the year. Stats was called horrible names. She was called human garbage and a thug in comments and messages, and a picture of her and her children were posted online. The teacher, Stats, said she was told that she was mentally abusing children and that she should no longer be allowed to teach. Now, this is all from just having a discussion with her fourth grade children about racism. This is all about talking about Black Lives Matter. This is to broaden their education, and she was treated like that and ultimately lost her job. Who will truly be missed? David Dinkins. He was the first Black mayor of New York City, 93 years old, who passed away, served one term. He will be truly missed. Thanks for asking, so I can clear that up. The next story. Before President Donald Trump leaves office at noon on January 20th, his Department of Justice is scheduled to execute 5 federal prisoners, including 4 Black men and a severely mentally ill white woman. The move is drawing the attention of human rights activists because it is unprecedented for a lame duck administration to execute 1 prisoner, let alone 5 prisoners, specifically with the underlying problems in several of the cases. Some believe that this action just shows when you give absolute power over life and death to government officials, at least some of them, they can really do what they want. In addition to the unprecedented number of executions scheduled, the Department of Justice has also amended the manner of federal executions to include executions by firing squad, electrocution, or poison gas. The changes are due to go into effect on Christmas Eve. I know I've been seeing a lot of posts going back and forth about this, about particularly because it's going to be 5 people that they're going to basically going to schedule to execute, but also the type of execution that they'll be able to do. When was the last time that you remember in the United States or even heard of in the United States that they were allowed to do a firing squad? Could you imagine the potential for that circus of having a firing squad of, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 armed people with guns, and, you know, a whole bunch of people just watching them anxiously and excitingly getting shot down? And by doing it that way, I mean, just think about it. How can it be delayed? If they do it by firing squad, or if they do it something that's so quick, it'd be really difficult to delay it. And that may be the intention. The changes are due to go into effect on Christmas Eve. So we're talking a couple weeks. Black Friday online sales hit a new record this year as pandemic-weary Americans filled virtual carts instead of real ones. Consumers spent an estimated $9 billion on U.S. retail websites on Black Friday, according to Adobe Analytics, which tracks online shopping. That was a 22% jump over the previous record of $7.4 billion in 2019. Meanwhile, traffic to physical stores plummeted as retailers tried to prevent crowds by cutting their hours and limiting doorbuster deals. U.S. store visits dropped by 52% on Black Friday. Think about this. The brick and mortar stores, the Macy's, the Penny's, whoever, their sales dropped by 52%. They're already in trouble. A lot of them are already closing their doors. Everyone knows that Black Friday accounts for, I don't know, more than 30% of their annual sales. So it dropped 52%. That's significant. I'm not sure what's going to happen to some of our brick and mortar stores. I figure that a few more of them will probably be going under. I can't see how they're going to continually go without the sales. The next story is out of Washington. The Democratic-controlled House on Friday approved a bill to decriminalize and tax marijuana at the federal level, reversing what supporters called a failed policy of criminalizing pot use and taking steps to address racial disparities in enforcement of federal drug laws. I thought this was interesting that they did that, but they did. Now, finally, a feel-good story. Now, these stories are all kind of, Actor Harry Lennox shot to fame by playing Terrence Dresser Williams and Robert Townsend, the 5 Heartbeats. He currently appears in both The Blacklist and Billions and is upcoming in Zack Snyder's new Netflix series, Army of the Dead, wherein a group of mercenaries plan a heist in a Las Vegas casino by breaking quarantine during the outbreak of zombies. But much of his attention at present rests on an old warehouse building located at 4343 South Cottage Grove Avenue in Chicago's South Side, where he intends to build both a two-theater complex to house, among others, the Congo Square Theater Company and a new nationally focused museum dedicated to Black contributions to the performing arts, everything from dance to film to music to theater. This is both complicated and very simple. The 56-year-old Lennox called to say over Thanksgiving weekend, I want to find a means to archive the collective history of Black Americans in the performing arts. There is no institution that celebrates or houses that. And this is what the African American Museum of Performing Arts will do. Finally, a good news story. I'm so glad because everything else has been kind of, ooh. Smokey Norful, this has just been trending, so I just thought I'd bring it up. Smokey Norful, he's a gospel singer, and he posted a picture on Thanksgiving, and it went viral. Not sure if any of you happen to see it, but it was a sweet picture of him and his 16-year-old son. He was sitting on the couch or sitting somewhere, and his son was kind of laying on him. And that photo went viral. Not because of why you think it did. You probably would think it did because it's so cute. It's just, it's showing a father and son love. But many loved it, but some were confused and some thought it was inappropriate. If you saw the picture, I don't know if you did, but if you saw the picture, what did you think? It was a father sitting on the couch or something, just, hugging his father. So I don't know. I thought it was a sweet picture. And I'm hearing from Mary. Hey, Mary, how are you? I'm glad you tuned in. Sorry about the time difference, but it's always good to see you. And I miss you too. So if any of you saw the Smokey Norful picture, let me know. Let me know if you thought it was inappropriate or any story that has been read. We can always go back. So you can make your comment or, suggestion or whatever. We can always go back. Out of Chicago, a former Chicago alderman nicknamed Fast Eddie for his backroom dealing was sentenced Friday by a federal judge to 18 months in prison for tax evasion. Eddie Verdoliak pleaded guilty 2 years ago to seeking to help another lawyer to evade paying about $800,000 in income taxes. The scheme was part of a plan to siphon off millions of dollars in legal fees stemming from a $9 billion tobacco settlement with the state of Illinois, even though he did no legal work on the case. After sentencing, Verdoliak, U.S. District Judge Robert Dow said he will hold a hearing in 3 months to discuss when the 82-year-old Verdoliak is going to report to prison. Then the judge says, I'm not going to send Mr. Verdoliak to prison during COVID. So far, it's been 21 months since Verdoliak's guilty plea and 4 years since his indictment, which outlined his role in a bid to pocket millions from Illinois' 2-decade-old settlement with tobacco companies. So it looks like, in my mind, he may not be going to jail. I don't know. Anyway, I got a few more people who said hello. Hey, how are you doing? It's always good to have people listen to the show. How you doing, V? And Makiba, good old Eddie. You remember Fast Eddie Makiba? He's the one who gave Harold the blues. He gave him the blues. And Makiba, it's a great segue. This next part of the show, I'm going to be talking about COVID stories. So if you want to, chip in or say something, feel free to do that. COVID. The U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention reduced the recommended days a person must quarantine after corona exposure from 14 days to 7 or 10 days. The new guidelines announced Wednesday say people who have close contact with an infected person can end their quarantine after 7 days if they receive a negative test or after 10 days without a test. The CDC defines close contact as 15 minutes total spent 6 feet or closer to the infected individual. The next coronavirus story. The coronavirus surpassed heart disease. Now, heart disease has been the number one killer for a long time. It surpassed it as the leading cause of death in the United States this week, as many of the nation's hospitals are overwhelmed and officials implement new COVID-19 restrictions. A record-breaking 227,000 new cases were reported in the U.S. on Friday alone, the first time the daily case count has toppled 220,000, according to a tally from Johns Hopkins University. An average of 2,000 people have died of the disease each day since last Saturday. The total U.S. death toll is over 250,000, and projections coming from the White House show it could hit 500,000 by March. Nice. And we have something from our COVID subject matter expert. Numbers are increasing. Indiana has a second high. Really? Wow. Indiana has the second highest number in the U.S. That's wow. And we have another. Oh yes, and that is what you're just way ahead of me. Thank you so much. I'm going to mention that. Thanks, Van. The next story is, this was so sad because this person works for the Office of Emergency Management. And you probably heard about it. Those people that are local, a Chicago family struck by COVID-19 is dealing with another loss. Guadalupe Lopez was laid to rest on Monday. He died in November after contracting COVID-19 earlier this year. On Saturday, the family announced that Lopez's wife, Maria Lopez, has also passed away. Guadalupe Lopez was a 911 emergency dispatcher and worked in the department for more than 30 years. The Little Village resident died earlier this month after contracting the disease on the job. His wife, Maria, got sick around the same time. She was in the hospital for several weeks and put on a ventilator. She was 56 years old. And Makiba mentioned that several people have gotten the disease twice, reporting decreased symptoms. And that's, a good friend of mine, Makiba, both of ours, he's a family friend. He had COVID back in March, April, was in the hospital, ventilated. We were worried about him not making it. Through the grace of God, he did. And then he got it again. So that's a good point. They are getting it twice now. I was under the wrong assumption that once you have it, that you kind of have a natural immunity, at least for a while. I thought for at least 6 months or a year, but now I hear that time is even cut short, or you may not even have an immunity to it, to a couple months. So that's interesting. Minnesota Timberwolves center Karl Anthony Towns is acutely aware of how devastating COVID-19 is, as he just revealed he's lost 7 family members to the virus. 7 family members. Towns shared the depths of his personal tragedy with ESPN's Malika Andrews, which she relayed in a tweet Friday. The 25-year-old acknowledged that he hasn't been in a good place since his mother's hospitalization from corona and subsequent death. His mother, Jacqueline Cruz Towns, died after battling the virus. He's also lost 6 more family members to the airborne virus and is now trying to ensure that he doesn't lose any more. That is terrible. And someone has another comment. Your friend also got it twice? Jeez. Former state Senator Martin Sandoval died Saturday from COVID-19 complications, according to his attorney. Sandoval has been facing prison time after pleading guilty to taking bribes from the red light camera company, SafeSpeed. His attorney said Sandoval cared deeply about his community and did a great deal of good. Although he had made mistakes, he took responsibility for them and was remorseful, and he passed. And one of the listeners mentioned this, Andrew Giuliani, announced Friday that he has contracted the coronavirus. Now, it's interesting that when you go to the BBC and other places, they say it was announced on Friday. I just saw it today, so I'm not sure. But anyway, this morning I tested positive for COVID-19, Andrew, son of Rudy Giuliani, said, an aide to President Trump. So he definitely does have it. And wow, it's almost like somebody within that White House, we don't have to say any names, who knows who it is, has been a super spreader or something. And, that so many of them got it. It's just, it's been all through the White House, Congress, and it just everywhere. Next story. After the first cases of COVID-19 were confirmed in the U.S. on January 20th, It took almost 100 days to reach that 1 million infections, 100 days, a little over 3 months. Now the country has added more than 1 million cases to its grim total in just 5 days. From Tuesday to Saturday, 1,882 new corona cases were reported in the U.S., according to data from Johns Hopkins University, bringing the total to more than 14.5 million confirmed cases and 281,199 deaths from the virus. That is something that is really unbelievable. So, Makiba and everyone who gave me some input, thank you so much for doing that. I so much appreciate it. You know, adding your input to Corona, it's been absolutely horrible. And it's something that I think we're going to have around here for a little while. So right now, what I'm going to try to do, you know, even though my computer went out, I'm going to try to do my stuff anyway, because if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. I'm going to try to share the screen and go through this, a quick little PowerPoint. A friend of mine from Texas who's in the ministry, we're talking about the pandemic, talking about the impact of it. And it's just amazing how depression is kind of taking a hold on everyone. And everyone has to remember, depression is a mental illness, and depression can hit everyone. Depression is almost expected, particularly in times like this, in times when we've been locked in the house since February or March. And then you couple that with the flu season, you couple that with the fall and the winter and the lack of sunlight in the darker days, and also people that have lost their jobs, people that have lost their businesses. So what this is going to do is just give us just a few strategies to cope. And I'm hoping that it adds some value. When I looked at it, I thought it was pretty good. So I really wanted to share it with you, these mood lifting tips. And hopefully you'll be able to see it. But if not, I'm going to read it for you. It's mood lifting tips. Okay, maintaining a positive attitude during our current stressful environment can seem almost impossible. You know, there's so many things and so many moving parts. People are leaving out of here. Families. I mean, think about the family of the man and the woman who are in their 50s, who have adult kids, but still losing their parents 2 weeks apart. And we see this happening over and over again. Or the athlete that lost 7 family members, or friends who you know, or people who we know who have lost their battle or who are sick, because we never know how this disease is going to impact us. Sometimes it have a residual impact, and you know, the impact is ongoing. It isn't just to have the disease. First of all, you can identify what made you happy before the pandemic and do more of it now. So what made you feel good before the pandemic? It might include spending more time with your family members, working out, reading, whatever it was, you should do it. Because yet, you know, we have to pull back and think now, before the pandemic, what would make me happy? So some people may say shopping. And apparently a lot of people believe that, because that's probably why the online numbers were so high. Remind yourself of all you have to be thankful for. You know, this is something that we got to do on a daily basis. This is, we're in challenging times, but we still have to be grateful and thankful. And not just during Thanksgiving, you know, we should be grateful and thankful all the time. It says, even though we're inundated by negative news every day, we should not allow it to consume us. We still have much to be thankful for, and we should express our gratitude each and every day. Use the 3 Good Things app or write in a journal. I think that's a good idea. Write in a journal every day 3 things that you're thankful for. Treat yourself, especially in the morning. Getting up and doing the exact same thing day after day can be exhausting, and after a while boring. To counter these feelings, treat yourself to something indulgent. A different coffee creamer, a new breakfast recipe, or whatever you feel is indulgent. Changing your routine can help us positive tone. Whatever you think that's indulgent, that's a good thing to do. Be creative. Create something or learn a new skill. It cannot only be fun, but productive also. For example, learn how to knit, play the piano. That's what I'm trying to do. Learn how to play the piano more, or learn a new language. That's a good one too. There are a lot of how-to videos on YouTube. Actively move your body. Movement distracts the brain from trivial moodiness. Do something that involves moving the whole body, like walking, running, exercising, or dancing. Even if you don't feel like moving, do it anyway. You will notice afterward that you'll be less lethargic and less irritable. Just move that body. Those who like to dance, you can just turn on the music and get in the middle of the floor and just dance and have your own party. Watch funny television programs or movies. Watching comical TV programs and movies can boost your happy hormones and uplift your moods. Funny game shows and feel good movies can also be uplifting. I know my sister called me the other day and she said she was going to watch one of these feel good movies, one of those holiday love movies that's on Hallmark or something. And I'm like, ah. But it was actually pretty good. It does kind of warm your heart. Sing or listen to upbeat music. Upbeat music like gospel will make you want to dance, move around, and clap your hands. Try singing or listening to it, and you'll experience an almost immediate elevation in your mood. And that is so true. Don't worry about how you sound. If you got a favorite song, just sing it. Okay, here's some quick fix mood lifters. The 1 minute ones, smell mood lifting scents. I've always heard that was really good. Another one is chew gum. Now that one is kind of interesting, but I guess it does. Bask in the sunlight. Yeah, it makes you feel good when the sun's shining. You just walk and that's a good one. A 5 minute fix, cuddle, laugh, do something new. 10 minute fix, call a best friend, flip through old photos, walk around the block, dress up, clear away clutter, and browse food networks for recipes. So those are the things that we can do, and those are the things that you should do. And I want you to just think about that, because I particularly like the one where you write down, when you get up in the morning, write down 3 things that you're thankful for. And we have a comment, and it says seasonal depression is high this time of the year. Anyway, with COVID, this has increased at least 3 times higher. Shameless plug for anyone who lives in the North Lawndale Garfield Park or near West Side. There is an absolute free mental health center who'd be more than happy to sit down and listen to any concerns you have, or if you're feeling a little bit down. If you live in those areas in Chicago, the Encompassing Center would be more than happy to talk to you. If you want more information, if I remember, I'm going to post it for you, the address. Fidel, hey, see that face? That boy can sing. That man can sing. I don't want to say boy, that man can sing. And we're going to take a quick little break, and then we're going to talk about infidelity. And I'm hoping that I hear from men also. This is just from research that I've done on it. It isn't necessarily my opinion. It is, what the data says, and I'm always one to talk about the data. So we are going to listen to this song by one of my favorite Chicago artists again, Dante Hall, What About My Love?
What about my love? Seems you have forgotten love. I do believe that something went wrong somewhere. What about my feelings? Do they mean anything at all? You got me so in love, too blind to see. Yeah, but you got my love, now you wanna put me down. Yeah, but you got my love, got me standing on shaky ground.
And that's probably how one would feel if they were cheated on. They'd feel like, what about my love? Anyway, so Dante Hall, he's really good. Infidelity. As I listened to my virtual church services today, and I listen to them every Sunday, and I listened to this one pastor, and he talked about this poem from Paul Laurence Dunbar, and we've all heard it before, but sometimes somebody can bring something to light, and it's like, boy, that is really true. And the name of the poem was We Wear the Mask. And it's so true because we wear the mask in so many different areas of our life. You know, we wear the mask on our job. We wear the mask in our personal life. We wear the mask in love. We wear the mask in relationships. We wear the mask in our marriage. We put on this face and this persona that we want everyone to see. And oftentimes we're not facing our own truth. Well, this poem actually talked about racism, but I'm going to read a stanza from it, and then we're going to go into our infidelity, because I think sometimes why this go on for oftentimes as long as it does is because we're wearing a mask. We're wearing a mask that we're this perfect, beautiful couple, or we're wearing this mask that he's just the perfect boyfriend. We know the truth, but we're wearing the mask. We're not facing it. So here's a stanza from it. It says, "Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask." Because we only want people to see what we want them to see. And that's in everything. So let's talk about what is infidelity. And you can come in and chime in anytime you want to. I'll try to put it on the screen and comment if I can. Infidelity is the breaking of a promise to remain faithful to a romantic partner, whether that promise was part of a marriage vow, a privately uttered agreement between two lovers, an unspoken assumption, and as unthinkable as the notion of breaking such promises may be at the time they are made. Infidelity is common. And when it happens, it raises a lot of questions. The other person wants to say, should you stay? Can you ever trust? Will trust be rebuilt? Or is there no choice but to pack up and go? Those are real life situations. And it's so prevalent. It happens like all the time. There has been many people and many persons who I've known, people who, you know, you really can't look at a person and think that person's a cheater. Well, some people you can, but some people you can't. And you think, oh, that he's such a nice guy. He's so this, he's so that. Then when you get to know them and they tell you, you know, I cheated one time and I did. And I'm like, what, you? So this is so common. Most of the time, I guess it's never detected. But these are times, particularly what we're talking about, are times when it is detected. Why people cheat. For the adulterer, infidelity can be exciting and seductive, conferring feelings of renewal, rejuvenation, and joy. Infidelity is a betrayal, but it isn't necessarily the end of love. Cheating occurs even in happy relationships. The partner being betrayed, however, may feel confusion, anger, doubt, pain, and heartbreak. Why do people cheat? Well, the studies say most people are aware of the cost of cheating in a relationship, particularly if they're married. Betrayal can lead to divorce, parental disruption, and infidelity is a predictor of depression, anxiety, and domestic violence. Yet many stray anyway. So it makes one ask, well, okay, if they can lose everything, particularly when they say it could happen in good marriages, why would they do it? I mean, is that rational? In surveys of individuals who have cheated, falling out of love, seeking variety, and feeling neglected were the most commonly cited reasons, followed by situational forces, a desire sometimes to raise self-esteem, and anger with a partner. Now, those are interesting, and I think for the most part, those are probably true. So, do men stray more than women? What do you think? Men have always been more likely than women to cheat, or at least to report having done so. That's it right there. I'm not saying that women cheat more than men, but I'm saying that men report it more. But researchers have noticed a shift in recent years. The gap is closing, and women are reporting to have cheated almost at par with men. As widespread as infidelity may be, a substantial majority of romantic partners do not stray. This is interesting and hard to believe. And oh God, I wish Kayla was on the phone. Khaled is a psychologist, and he's been on my show before, and we've talked about topics like this. And I remember one time talking to him, and he said, Jan, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I'm a man, and over 90% of men cheat. It's so easy. It's so over. A lot of them, you probably don't find out about it, but over 90% of men cheat. And I kind of believed him. Now, let's see what someone from the audience said. She said, some cheat because they're not fulfilled in the relationship. Something is missing. so they seek it out in others. Yeah, that reminds me of, I just have to say, one of your brothers, they're very, very candid. I remember saying, having a conversation, why would you do that? Why would you cheat? Why would you do that? So, and the whole thing about it is, he said, because she's doing something that she's not doing. I don't know. Maybe that does happen. I think it happens less times than we think it does. As widespread as infidelity may be, a substantial majority of romantic partners do not stray. That's interesting. As widespread as infidelity may be, a substantial majority of romantic partners do not stray. So that's good news. Good news is that they're saying a majority, so over 50% of the people don't stray, men or women. One recent survey found that the primary reasons individuals remained faithful, not surprisingly, was that they were satisfied in their relationship. But the second most common reason was worry, that cheating would make them feel guilty. And the third most cited reason was fear that their own partner would retaliate by cheating on them. Why do some partners wrongly accuse each other of cheating? Now, this is interesting. And, there's always been little sayings about that. And those old sayings are absolutely right on the money. Many couples struggle when one partner wrongly believes the other has been or continues to be unfaithful. But research into such dynamics find that an individual belief that they are being betrayed tends to some extent to indicate that they themselves have cheated or having thoughts about someone outside the relationship. In other words, they were projecting their own wandering eye onto their partner. And that's what the old people always said when somebody accused you of doing something. Are there couples that embrace infidelity? Now, we can't forget about these couples, because there are couples, many partners are in committed but open relationships. So when we're talking about cheating, we're not talking about the people that are in open relationships, where there are groups of people that are okay with that. Both partners know about it. They're okay with that. They were talking about some type of relationship where a man encourages his female partner to have sex with another man while he watches him. And it's set up to happen that way. So if that's how they are, that's their business, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking infidelity when one partner does not know. What people consider infidelity? Most of you may be old enough to remember we had a President Bill Clinton, and he was in a relationship with an intern, Monica Lewinsky. And when first they asked him if he had sex with the woman. And he said he did not have sex with her. He did not cheat. In fact, I remember talking with a group of guys, and they were saying, but look, all he did was sit there. In other words, she did what she did to him. So what do you consider infidelity? The line between innocent flirtation and romantic betrayal is often elastic, and many couples face conflict because partners do not share the same definition of what is cheating. For some, anything short of sexual contact with someone else is acceptable. For others, any attention is a potential rival and is unforgivable. Is fantasizing about another bad for a relationship? The term micro-cheating refers to acts that fall short of most definitions of infidelity, but may still disturb a partner, such as flirting with an attractive neighbor or coworker, but with no intention of straying. Sexual fantasies are another matter. While many experts believe sexual fantasies about other people, if they are not acted on and do not become a fixation, then are they cheating? Are they necessarily cheating? In fact, they may help maintain sexual energy and interest. But researchers emphasize that sexual fantasies about one's own partner contribute more to the relationship. Now, here's one: pornography. Everybody wants to know about porn. Is porn a form of cheating? Since a partner viewing porn doesn't know and isn't physically with the performers, many view porn as potentially problematic, but not actual infidelity. Some consider it a form of entertainment. However, some partners insist that any sexual activity outside of the relationship is an offense. Experts suggest that couples Be as open as possible with each other and discuss if one partner's consistent use of porn points to signs of trouble in the couple's own sexual connection. What is emotional infidelity? Interesting. Surviving infidelity. Of people out there, you think you can survive infidelity? When a partner is caught cheating or confessing to it, it's not necessarily the end of the relationship. One key factor determining whether a relationship can survive is whether or not the affair included emotional attachment as well as sex. In one survey, 44% of men who had affairs said it was only about sex, but only 11% of women reported the same. So it tells me that there's a relationship where men seemingly more times than not do it for the physicality, and women more times than not are more emotional. So how does someone decide whether to stay with a partner who's cheated? That's a $10,000 question. Who knows that? The decision to remain in a relationship after infidelity is based on criteria including finances, family connections, and the shared parenting of young children. But research, this is interesting. Research also finds that one of the strongest indicators of whether a couple will remain together is the opinions and advice of the wrong partner's social network of friends and family. So it sounds to me that the research is saying that the strongest indicator if the person's stay or not is if your family or your girls or your friends or whatever is saying you should leave that man, you should leave that woman, you should leave that man. If they're pressed like that, then they're more likely to leave than if their family is feeling, well, you know, things like this happen. Maybe you should go to counseling, maybe whatever. So this is a strong indicator, the indicator of people opinions. So that's probably why when people are in the limelight, like, I don't know, entertainers or whatever, or politicians, when they're in the limelight, everybody finds out that their spouse cheated. It's so devastating because that net extends way beyond family and friends, but extends to the world. That's interesting. Can you trust a partner who has cheated before? This is trust. One's past does not always determine their future, but research finds that individuals who cheated on a partner in a previous relationship are 3 times more likely to cheat in a future relationship. So the probability if someone has cheated before, if they get back in a relationship, they're 3 times more likely to cheat than a person who doesn't cheat. Makes sense. As compared to people who had not been faithful before. Individuals who have cheated have also been found likely to express hypocrisy about infidelity. They blame their partner's actions for their own strain, but take no responsibility for their partner's unfaithful act. Now, I am looking for some questions. Here go one. Someone said, are you married? Oh, let me put this on here. Someone said, are you married? Does your husband cheat? Did you cheat? Now, who answers questions like, well, first of all, the format for this show is one that's based on research, not necessarily one that is based on something personal or something private or something. I would never pick out someone, just say whoever, and say, have you cheated? Does your husband cheat? I mean, if someone wanted to disclose that, then that's fine. But if I was married, I wouldn't cheat. I'm just saying, typically, you can't really speak for your spouse because you don't know what your spouse do. You don't know if your spouse cheat or if your spouse isn't cheating. So if I have any more questions on the infidelity before I go on, because I'm like hearing the sound of my voice, I want to hear some of your voices. Matter of fact, what I can do is, you're like, you and that music. What I can do is play something else. So think of some of the things that you heard, and I will put some music on. I think I'm going to put on Dante. Here we go. Once again, Chicago's own Dante Hall.
over you, girl. Yeah, I'm tripping out over you, baby, over you, girl. Yeah, each day I'm not with you is like a day without sunshine. I'm hung up on you, babe. You become a part of me.
Oh, that man got a beautiful voice. It's 7 o'clock. Can you believe what time it is? Okay, let's look at signs of infidelity. Signs of infidelity. Number one sign of infidelity is when a spouse becomes emotionally distant, withdrawn, or depressed. That is probably very, very, very true. The second sign is infidelity is unfaithful spouse become angry, critical, and even at times cruel. 70% of those surveyed reported this sign, often coupled with emotional and verbal abuse, constant put downs, and little to no patience. Third on the list of the signs of infidelity is the issue of control voiced by those who are cheating. Often they complain that their spouses are controlling, yet they themselves are guilty of attempting to control. Fourth on the list of the signs of infidelity was a reported increase in working hours, after work meetings, business trips, and the need to work out of town for prolonged periods of time. The fifth and cruelest of the signs of infidelity on the list of our survey, reported by 50%, was illness of the one who is faithful. This is horrible. This is often more a contributing factor than a sign. Thus the words of the song, "You left me just when I needed you most." One woman's husband moved the other woman into their home during her brief hospitalization, the result of a chronic illness. We all know about B. Smith, who suffered from Alzheimer's, and her husband moved his mistress in their home. Another woman's husband began his affair while she was laid up with knee surgery. Another during 3 weeks bedridden with a severe case of pneumonia. Another in the 9th month of pregnancy, etc., and so on. So I guess opportunity because she's not available is number 5. Number 6 on the list of signs of infidelity was paying extra close attention to their appearance, buying new clothes, losing weight, extra primping, working out at a gym, and other sudden fitness endeavors. Another sign is becoming inappropriately defensive when asked questions, was number 8 on our list of the signs of infidelity. Number 9, the signs of infidelity, was becoming extra flirtatious with the opposite sex. The 10th of the signs of infidelity was an obsessive need for privacy and staying up late at night to work on the computer. When confronted with his excessive late night hours in front of the monitor, one cheater responded, "It's none of your business. I'm entitled to my privacy." Or the people who have their cell phones and they're always having face down, or they're always hiding them, or they're always, certain things like that, that excessive privacy. Those are definitely signs. But notice, any one or all of the above signs of infidelity does not guarantee that your spouse is cheating. And also, a spouse could not be showing any signs and could be cheating. So, you just have to take it all in stride. And taking it all in stride, it looks like my time is just about up, but then I did start a little bit late. So if I don't have any more questions, I can just about wrap this up. Just saying that sometimes infidelity is something that it's been here forever. It's going to be here as long as, there are people of the opposite sex that are attracted to each other. It's something that will always happen. There's many who believe that monogamy isn't natural. I don't agree with that, but if that's how they believe, that's fine. So sometimes it can be worked through, but often one should just let go of what's behind them so they can get what is ahead of them. And if you don't let it go, you'll never get what you deserve. So on that, I am going to wish everyone a great weekend. Weekend is over. A great week. And I will see you back here next week on Sunday. On Sunday, I'm going to have just a few of my sisters on with me, and we're going to be doing a panel discussion. And we're just like we talked today about infidelity. We are going to talk about next week. We're going to talk about dating during the pandemic. I know you probably thought about that. Now, how do people date during the pandemic? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in our relationship part of the show next week. So you guys all have a great week and be blessed.
Hallelujah. Oh, thank you, Jesus.